Ring of Fire match, part 6 here. We're going to talk about Bray Wyatt versus Kane. Anybody want to sing the whole Ring of Fire thing?
And it burns, burns, burns. The rain of fire.
Hopefully they don't fucking do that. Like when they gave the Hell in a Cell its own theme song. They better not fucking do that for this.
Because loads of Mexicans like a mariachi band around the ring.
Is that still a pet peeve of yours, even though that happened a whole year ago? It's like, why give the solo theme song?
It was stupid, because I love the little, like, boom, 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 that thing that they do in the background, and it's like, you're gonna wait, like, 10 fucking minutes for... I'm not gonna get into that whole thing, it's just pissing me off.
What we need someone to follow Tony around doing his theme song everywhere he goes.
Yeah, whatever theme song that is.
Why don't we have a theme song for this show anyway?
Because I am horribly musically talented and I can't make one up. And everybody that I try to get to make up a song, they're just kind of... They're like, just buy a royalty-free one. And I'm like, it's like $200 or something.
I like the Keeping Kayfabe theme song.
Yeah, Keeping Kayfabe has a theme song.
Ring of Fire, though. One thing, if you're talking about pet peeves of mine, why aren't they calling this a fucking Inferno match? I mean, there is a slight difference to it with the rules, but still, come on.
It's different.
I think it was Jester that pointed it out on the pre-show. It's not about burning your opponent. The fire is there to keep people out. It's basically a flaming cage match without.
They specifically said that on SmackDown too. That it's not about lighting them on fire.
Right,
they
but
wanted
it's
to
like
stress that.
But just do a fucking Inferno match. Come on, like
they don't want to burn Kane. I mean, they've done that enough in the past as is. It might have been easy 10 years ago, but he's an older man now.
Well, see, I honestly think that's what is going to happen, because there are talks that he's going to be filming that scene of Evil 2 and he needs to take time off. So if they're going to have him take time off, they're probably going to have something where he gets burned anyway. So just do it.
No, it's way better to have it not be expected. Because, if it's an Inferno match, someone's getting burned.
True.
If this way, it's just a match, and when it's over, oh my god, the Wyatt family threw Kane into the fire. See, it's different. So,
yeah, good point.
As I said, mariachi band. We just need him around the ring. And then as soon as someone sets on fire, and then he burns, burns, burns. And it'll be brilliant.
Fire. It's going to be a unique visual.
Who was it on the pre-show that suggested that the Wyatt family just come out with buckets and just...
I think it was...
That might have been Paul. That might have been Paul.
Yeah, I concede now. Good point, Jester. If you have somebody actually plan to get burned, it's not as much of a big deal. But if somebody gets burned afterward, it makes them look a hell of a lot more vindictive and evil. Woo! So I concede that point. Good point.
Interesting gimmick to use at the beginning of this feud, too.
Yeah.
Because obviously they weren't... It's something that deserves a little bit more than a regular singles match. But who would have thought they'd have a match that involves flames surrounding the ring? It's been a long time since... Sort of the last one was the Kane MVP match.
That, I think, was unnecessary in that regard. But it fits in the case of the Wyatt family because the Wyatt family, to me, comes off as so demented. I could see them as the type of people that, in retaliation, would burn a man alive. I could see that. I could see that being a dramatic thing that Bray Wyatt does. He's got Rowan and Harper holding him down, picks up a match or a torch or something, lights Kane on fire, and then does that follow the buzzards thing that he does. I could see that. That makes sense more with the Wyatts than with MVP.
Yeah.
And on top of that, just you would assume that anybody who has to fight Kane in a kayfabe perspective in a type of match like that, with flames perhaps surrounding you, you could get burnt, even though that's not part of the rules, but it's the risk you take being in that match. You'd expect somebody to be terrified, and Wyatt is just laughing about it and thinks it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that level. His character's just got that. It's not really supernatural, but it's got that psychotic twist to it that Kane's original character had way back when. This is a great, true, crazy gimmick, that we haven't seen in a long time.
You know what I would really like to see? And this is just this matters not at all, but it's just something that I would find kind of funny. The fact that when they have the entrance for Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, they have him light that lantern, but then when they come to the ring, it's obviously not an actual flame, it's just a light, like a flashlight.
It's an LED lantern.
Yeah, I would love for them to use an actual one, and for him to just kind of like brush off this whole Ring of Fire thing, and like use that fire to light it, and go back to the backstage area after he wins. Just kind of like, meh, that's over with. I'm gonna light my little lantern here with the rest of that fire, and see you guys.
There needs to be paraffin to the ring.
I think the fact that they're starting out with a Ring of Fire match just shows that, like, with this big of a thing, just shows how much they have invested in Bray Wyatt, like how much they care. Like they want to start us off with a big deal so that when Kane takes time off, like Bray beat him at his own game. You know what I mean? I think that's why they're doing it at a quote unquote second biggest show of the year. So
if we're going by the rumor that I posted on the in the chat,
we shouldn't.
I know, but hey, you led me into it by saying somebody's behind him, because apparently, according to the rumor, Triple H is actually a big proponent of the Wyatts.
I mean, the whole company should be. The whole company seems like they're behind him. They're using them in a big way. I don't think that really leads any way into the rumor, though. I don't think that has anything to do with the Shield. Like, I think that they're high on him because that's someone they brought up to the roster and someone they intend to use. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything else. It doesn't justify a rumor or anything. It just says that, hey, the Wyatts are good, and we realize they're good, and the crowd reacts to them. So.
And I want to make sweet, sweet love to their legs.
That's
exactly.
You sure you're not talking about Mrs. Legs?
So does everybody think that Bray Wyatt's coming out on top, or does anybody actually want to argue that Kane will?
Not Kane will.
No, because that should not happen at all.
No, Kane will because it's Kane. That's why he's going to win. It's
Kane. Because there is a possibility that Kane wins the match, and then afterward, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan attack him, and then Bray Wyatt just gets revenge on him.
Well, how bad is that going to look when you're trying to push somebody as like the psychotic, destructive force, and then you just get him lose to a chokeslam his first match?
Mm-hmm.
And all the other family members have done is beaten tons of funk.
It's like, big boot. The big boot's what's going to make him lose.
Yeah, I cannot see Kane winning this. He's going to do the job for sure.
By the way, I was fucking with you. I do think
we got it. Gonna win. We know you're trolling.
No. Okay, never mind. Kane's gonna win. What's TNA?
Come on, he's giving us reasonable doubt.
What were you gonna say, Burhan?
I'm saying I think we should see the first ever rape in a match. That would be brilliant.
Okay, calm down, Burhan. We're still in the PG era.
You said that with a smile on your face,
Burhan.
didn't you?
Yeah.
I could
giggling.
We could see it mentally.
Yeah,
as we're talking.
There you go. I freaked you all out now.
You're the newest member of the Wyatt family.
Yeah, Burhan's gonna join the Wyatt family.
I will be. I'll be raping pigs with the rest of them, y'all.
Hey, don't ruin the
Eric
idea.
Rowan, Michael Burhan.
Yeah, don't ruin the idea for my next script, all right?
Truthfully, though, I literally believe that he's going to win the match. The Wyatt's going to win it. Kane's going to take some time off. He's probably going to be like burnt badly or something. Burnt to the point where we probably don't see it. They might even like singe his hair, like the fake hair he's got on his head, set that alight, so that he's bored for the next See No Evil movie.
So who is now not going to show up to the next IGG after what Burhan just said?
Everyone!
So we're all going with Bray Wyatt here. Obviously, when it comes down to our predictions in the fantasy league, we're all tying on that one because nobody's picking anything different, unless Brandon or Peyton has anything to say about that. But talking to them ahead of time, I think everybody's going with Bray Wyatt, and I think that really there's not really much of a case to go with Kane. If you guys do think of a reason why Kane would win, other than that little mention I said earlier about what if they just do that because WWE does that shit every once in a while, make sure to say it in the comments. Part 7, next part that we're going to be talking about, World Heavyweight Championship, Alberto Del Rio versus Christian.